I think it's ridiculous to start a third party. We have a tremendous success with the Republican Party. The Democrats have lost their way.
Welcome back, folks. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. Elon Musk America Party is getting a lot of attention. In fact, I did a short just on a lark the other day, and the thing went into 6 figures for views. Just a little surprised by that. So I thought I'd follow it up with a little more analysis of what we're talking about here. Analysts across the country seem to be obsessed with the whole concept of the two-party system and the first past the post for the presidential race, often mentioning George Wallace, the last third-party candidate to actually garner electoral votes with his American Independent Party. John Anderson ran as independent in 1980, Ross Perot running in 1992, and Ralph Nader in 2000. So we seem to have these third-party candidates that pop up every 20 years or so. But we also have these third-party candidates run all the time. The Constitution Party runs a candidate. The Green Party runs a candidate. Jill Stein's run a couple times now. So it's not exactly new to American politics, but the thing is that it doesn't really work well at the presidential level. And at the local level, these parties can have impact regionally, but they don't seem to have national impact. Now, there are institutional barriers to getting on the ballot nationwide for the president. Just ask Cornel West or Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr., Bobby Kennedy Jr., who had difficulty getting on the ballots. Now, another concern about this whole concept of the America Party is cost. For most people who want to start a party, like those who were behind the concept of the Tea Party, which was never a political party, but more of a movement, and really didn't become a political party as such, cost is an issue. It takes a lot of money to run politics. Look at the billions spent on this last presidential campaign. But for the richest man in the world, cost really isn't a barrier. He's got plenty of money to spend if he wants to. But ultimately, this seriously can't be about the presidency. Elon Musk is not even eligible to be president of the United States. He wasn't born in the United States or any of its territories. He was born in South Africa. Therefore, he's ineligible, and it would take a constitutional amendment to change that, and that's not likely. Also, Elon Musk, as of the recording of this video on the 7th of July, has not registered the America Party with the Federal Elections Commission. There's no party. There's a whole bunch of wannabe parties with acronyms and things going along the lines of an America Party, but none of them appear to be legitimate or tied to Elon Musk. So it's a threat at the moment, and maybe it'll come to fruition soon, but there is no America Party registered with the FEC at the national level. You also have to register at state levels too. Now, Musk is angry about the uniparty, and that's understandable, but welcome to the party, Elon, 30 years tardy. We've been complaining about the uniparty and the collusionary behavior between Democrats and Republicans since the early 1990s. They get along to go along and pretend to protest, but cooperate on all the big things like piling on our debt and refusing to reform entitlement programs, which is what they're both guilty of. Also handing out perks, which they're both guilty of. So you're not new. This isn't something we haven't heard of. I railed against the uniparty for the past several years online. Now, as far as what Musk wants to accomplish, he's not focused on the presidency. He's got a promising concept here of targeting 2 to 3 Senate seats and 8 to 10 House seats. That is a very achievable objective in this divided polity, where about 33% of the registered voters are Republicans, about 35% are registered Democrats, and that number is declining. It might even be more Republicans than Democrats at this stage. And the third that are left are in the middle. So what would potential policies look like for this America Party? Well, Elon hasn't said anything other than he wants to target some Senate seats and some House seats to make him the kingmaker when it comes to policy. But all that's going to do, folks, is lead to gridlock that we already have. Does anyone honestly think that the Democrats, Republicans are going to allow Elon Musk with 3 Senate seats to dictate what happens in the country? Most likely what's going to happen is that the Democrats and Republicans will team up on what needs to be passed and pass it and give each other some pork in the bill while Musk America Party senators sit there helpless and can do nothing. He has this concept of a parliamentary system in his mind, apparently, where he can have a block of senators or members of the House and he can sway party by horse trading and dickering. And while that's possible, I think it's much more likely the Democrats and Republicans will safeguard their concept of two-party system, the get along, go along uniparty, and they'll ace out Elon Musk America Party. So what sort of potential policies? Well, he's offered none. It is early stages. So far, he just seems bumhurt about this spending bill. But what I find frustrating about Elon Musk and his concern about the spending bill is that we have been railing against federal deficit spending since the deficit was less than $2 trillion over 30 years ago. And now it's approaching $40 trillion. Also, where was Musk's concern When Biden was president, I didn't hear him say anything about the debt then. I didn't hear him say anything about Barack Obama doubling the national debt in just 8 years. But now he's obsessed with the debt ceiling. Well, he's right to be obsessed with it, but where was this concern before? The dollar has been bastardized, cheapened, and devalued for 40 years. Our purchasing power is lame compared to what it once was. So policies, none. However, a ex-user offered some potential policies, including reducing the debt, reasonable spending only. But what does that mean, reasonable spending only? To me, Social Security spending is not reasonable. It's a Ponzi scheme. It never should have been created. It's a leftist socialist fantasy that has eviscerated this country's fiscal position. Modernize the military with artificial intelligence and robotics. Boy, that sounds an awful lot like doing things for Elon Musk, the tech guy. Pro-tech, accelerate to win in artificial intelligence. Yeah, because we're all just dying to have Skynet. Less regulation across the board, but especially in energy. Okay. But the bottom line is that that's not exactly new. Free speech, well, that's across the board. That's liberal, that's conservative, that's libertarian. Pro-natalist, I assume that means has to do with America first and not with birth, but pro-natalist. Centrist policies everywhere else. Well, what the heck does that mean? In response to this incomprehensible, indefensible list of silly, wide open positions that are listed here by an ex-user, Musk says, yeah, and he reposted that to his millions of followers, but he didn't adopt any official policy plan. Well, if he does have a party, we'll eventually see that. Now, here's the thing about all this, folks. Never discount the ultra-wealthy. Ross Perot won 19% of the popular vote despite constantly shooting himself in the foot in the 1992 campaign. Everyone laughed at Donald Trump in the 1980s when he said he would be president one day. And again in 2015 when he came down those stairs. And look what happened. Democrats and corrupt prosecutors pulled every immoral, illegal trick to block Trump from running in 2024 and failed. Never discount billionaires. So we cannot discount Elon Musk and what he has in mind. But Elon is like a Mexican jumping bean, flitting from one cool thing to the next. I mean, he changed his mind like Zsa Zsa Gabor changed her outfits, almost hourly, it seems. Musk is correct about the uniparty, but hardly the first to bemoan it. Welcome to the celebration, Elon, or the party. He is, however, the first to have the resources and influence to get some genuine traction. The Bull Moose Party, the American Independent Party, the Green Party, the Reform Party, none succeeded. But Musk's concept of a target approach may very well work to get his party off the ground. Congressional races can be focused geographically and on policy, and many members of the House are vulnerable. Particularly in a House so closely divided, it would be easy to flip some seats. Senate races are much more challenging, but Pennsylvania's race between John Fetterman and Dr. Oz is a good example where fielding a rational candidate could tip the scales against two idiotic candidates from the other parties. So Musk has a concept. Does he have a plan? Well, at the moment, he doesn't have a registered political party. Just a lot of hot air, X tweets, and anger. Why is Elon so angry? Or is he so angry? Whatever the case is, it's proven to be quite the distraction when the country has to focus on other issues. And we'll see what happens going forward. Musk can do it if he has the patience and he can stick with it. But in the past, we've seen that Elon Musk doesn't have the patience. At the moment, he seems disinterested in Tesla, a company that seems to be in a lot of trouble, particularly with coming in of a $7,500 tax credit to buy their crappy electric cars. Did I say that out loud? I sure did. So we'll see what happens going forward. But the ball's in Elon's court. If he wants to start a third party, good luck to him. But I think most people in the center are going to wind up voting for the people they usually vote for. What say you, folks? Cheers.